Lawmakers put their stamp of approval on legislation aiming to improve the state's business climate. Senate Bill 113 makes several changes to the state's workers' compensation laws. The legislation raises the standard of proof required in a workers' compensation discrimination lawsuit. Current state law requires the employee to prove their workers' comp status was a contributing factor to their received treatment. Senate Bill 113 raises the required proof to a motivating factor. The proposal also cracks down on injured employees who test positive for drugs and alcohol. Under the legislation, if an employee tests positive within 24 hours of an injury, they run the risk of seeing their workers' compensation benefits reduced by 50%.
I believe now we have an opportunity to reform some of these policies to give employers more certainty as they seek to expand their operations while continuing to provide protection that injured workers have and always expected from this system.
Senators approved the proposal by a 23-10 vote. The legislation now heads to the Missouri House of Representatives for consideration.
So I believe this is the right thing to do.
The Missouri Senate Rules, Joint Rules, Resolutions, and Ethics Committee discussed a proposal aiming to put every statewide elected official on an even playing field. Senate Joint Resolution 14 enacts term limits for all statewide elected officials. Currently, the Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State, and Auditor can serve more than 2 terms in office. If approved by the voters, the proposed change to the state's constitution would allow statewide elected officials to serve only 2 terms in office. Following the hearing, no further action was taken on the proposal.
This is a good faith.
The Missouri Senate gave initial approval to the Prescription Drug Monitoring Act. Senate Bill 74 requires the Department of Health and Senior Services to develop and maintain a statewide program to track the prescribing and dispensing of all Schedule II through IV controlled substances. Missouri is the only state without a prescription drug monitoring program. Currently, several municipalities in the state have created their own monitoring programs. However, Senate Bill 74 contains language preempting any existing databases. However, not everyone supported the legislation. One lawmaker argued against the proposal because she believes her county's program does a better job at tracking controlled substances.
It would preempt the one that my county now has in place. It seems to be working and people are joining on to. It's effective and it works, and it's going to help us stem this problem.
Lawmakers gave the bill initial approval by a 20-13 vote. It still needs to receive another round of approval before moving to the Missouri House of Representatives for consideration. Reporting from the state capitol, I'm Jonathan Lorenz.